rattled. I've never seen him respond to something like that. It seemed out of character.
It was a bit strange, you know, like the push, you know, but
well, the slow motion.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But Usyk, who knows, you know, was Dubois shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but you know, it's exciting, and I think definitely
Eddie Hearn may be trying to sound optimistic, but even he can't hide the hesitation in his voice. In recent interviews, he tosses Daniel Dubois a lifeline, suggesting there's still a chance for the British heavyweight. Yet every word feels like damage control. The reality is simple. Dubois is walking into a nightmare. After the collapse against Joseph Parker and a long layoff, Dubois has lost momentum. That time away from the ring has left him stale, his sharpness dulled, and his flaws more visible than ever.
This guy is a beast. He's a good fighter. He's a hard fighter to beat. And I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the tools to win that fight.
In stark contrast, Oleksandr Usyk remains a machine, relentless, active, and built for the chaos of championship-level boxing. There are no distractions, no excuses. The timing of this fight couldn't be worse for Dubois. Even Amir Khan, while showing support, echoed the same unspoken truth. Usyk is on another level. Khan calls Dubois a beast and credits his potential, noting improvements since their last encounter. He believes Dubois has learned from his mistakes and could give Usyk a tough challenge. But let's not get carried away. Dubois' raw power is undeniable, but it's not enough.
Some people are talented, some people are dedicated to the sport, they're not consistent. Or I think the biggest factor is they're not confident in themselves, or they just ain't mentally prepared to be a boxer.
Not against someone with Usyk's level of ring intelligence, movement, and technical mastery. Usyk is a calculated technician, a fighter who thrives on timing, angles, and outthinking opponents. Dubois may have physical tools, but he lacks the refined ring IQ that's essential when facing an elite like Usyk. That lack of sophistication could be fatal. Matuma Ituma is blunt in his analysis. According to him, both Usyk and Dubois are flawed in different but critical ways. While the boxing world often praises Usyk as a master tactician, Ituma believes the praise is overblown. He accuses Usyk of relying too heavily on trickery and labels him as lacking the true heart of a champion. In his
said, we made that point, we're not going to go concentrate, devise a game plan to be successful against Oleksandr Usyk on the 19th of July.
His view, when Usyk is truly pushed, he falters, falling short of the sport's truly elite. As for Dubois, Ituma is even harsher. He sees Dubois' brute strength as a crutch that masks major weaknesses, namely, mental toughness and boxing intelligence. Dubois, he says, isn't prepared for the kind of psychological and physical adversity a fight like this brings. Without the ability to adapt and outthink his opponent, raw talent will only carry him so far. But inside Team Dubois, there's no room for self-doubt. Don Charles, Dubois' trainer, is laser-focused on execution. There's no more talk, only action.
Especially in Usyk press conference, he's not going to start flipping tables and kicking off and this, that and the other. He's going to play a few little games and mind games and that. But aside from that, pretty chill and relaxed.
With the fight against Usyk fast approaching on July 19th at Wembley, Charles and his team are working overtime. The game plan is meticulous. It's not just about trading blows. It's about precision, timing, and exploiting Usyk's weaknesses. Charles insists they've built a completely different version of Dubois, a smarter, more disciplined fighter. Every training session is about sharpening the edges, mentally and physically. The pressure is enormous, but so is the potential for glory. Charles knows that pulling off this upset will require flawless execution from start to finish. Meanwhile, Fabio Wardley adds another layer to the narrative, offering insight into what makes Usyk so dangerous. He notes that Usyk is impossible to rattle. There will be no chaos at press conference.
And he believes in himself, you know, and that's why he's talking the way that he's talking right now. He's a different proposition to the one that was boxing Oleksandr Usyk a couple of years ago. And he goes, not just physically, not just mentally, he totally believes in himself now.
No emotional breakdowns, just icy composure and subtle mind games. Usyk manipulates the energy around him while staying eerily calm. That's his true power, thriving under pressure. In high-stakes moments, while others panic, Usyk remains surgical, calculating every move with precision. Wardley believes this mental strength could be the deciding factor. While Dubois has physical power, Usyk's unshakable focus and championship poise may give him the edge when it matters most. As the clock ticks down to fight night, one thing is clear. This isn't just a test of fists, but of minds. And if Dubois wants to shock the world, he'll need more than strength. He'll need to rise to a level he's never shown before. Spencer Oliver breaks down
the problem. Oleksandr Usyk is the best fighter in boxing, period. Of this generation, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight, what he's done to all the other British fighters, to do the double over AJ, the double over...
Daniel Dubois with laser precision, shedding light on a fighter who has undergone a remarkable transformation. No longer the uncertain young man who faced Oleksandr Usyk a few years ago, Dubois has evolved into a more dangerous, more composed, and more confident version of himself.
Even close.
Oliver emphasizes that the key to this change lies in Dubois' newfound self-belief, a quality that's not just apparent in his words, but also in the way he carries himself heading into the rematch. Dubois believes in himself, Oliver states firmly. That's why he's speaking with such conviction now. It's a sharp contrast from the Dubois we once knew, tentative, inexperienced, and unsure. This is now a man who fully trusts in his abilities, and according to Oliver, that self-belief could be a game-changer. It's given Dubois a mental edge he never had before. And
Dubois is, like I say, Daniel Dubois is a machine, and I'd back Daniel Dubois. If he was fighting anybody else other than Oleksandr Usyk, I'd back him to win.
Internal strength that might just make the difference in the ring. But belief alone, as Adam Smith is quick to point out, won't be enough. While confidence is essential, beating Oleksandr Usyk demands far more. It requires the perfect mix of strategy, timing, toughness, and flawless execution. Smith delivers a blunt yet blistering analysis, describing Usyk as the undisputed pinnacle of modern boxing. From his dominance at cruiserweight to his smooth, strategic climb through the heavyweight ranks, Usyk has consistently delivered elite performances. Smith highlights Usyk's monumental back-to-back victories over Anthony Joshua, positioning them as proof of his greatness. And if Usyk were to go on and defeat Tyson Fury twice, Smith argues, he would cement his place as the greatest fighter of this era, possibly even beyond.
Is a chance for Daniel Dubois to go down in British sporting folklore and to go and do the business, reverse that result.
He controls the ring, outsmarts the best, and outlasts the toughest. He's a master, Smith asserts. In his eyes, no one in the division has matched Usyk's skill, mental fortitude, and adaptability. Duke McKenzie echoes these sentiments, hailing Usyk as a history-making force unlike any other. But McKenzie doesn't hold back on his admiration for Dubois either. He describes Dubois as a machine with unbreakable will, lauding his raw power, work ethic, and explosive punching ability. In any other matchup, McKenzie says, he'd back Dubois to win without hesitation. However, even he acknowledges the mountain Dubois must climb. Facing Usyk is an entirely different challenge. While Dubois may possess the physical tools to overpower most opponents, Usyk's intelligence and technical brilliance put him in a...
Daniel's a heavy puncher. Both hands carries dynamite, and it's just going to be a case of picking his moments, believing in his work, and there are 3 or 4 fundamental things that he must do.
Class
if he
of his
does,
own.
He'll have success.
The question becomes clear. Can Dubois overcome that difference in ring mastery? Can he combine his mental toughness, newfound confidence, and raw power in a way that truly threatens the Ukrainian champion? The answer may come down to strategy and execution, two things Don Charles Dubois Trainer is intensely focused on. With the fight looming on July 19th at Wembley, Charles isn't interested in hype or headlines. He's focused on building a perfect plan and preparing Dubois to execute it with ruthless precision. It's not just about throwing punches, Charles explains. It's about timing, angles, and exploiting every crack in Usyk's armor. Charles believes they are crafting a new version of Dubois in the gym, one who is smarter, sharper, and more focused. Every day the pressure builds, and with it, so does Dubois' readiness. According to Charles, this version of Dubois is nothing like the one Usyk faced before. This is a man reborn, prepared to do whatever it takes to change the narrative. Frank Warren, Dubois' promoter, sees this bout as far more than a rematch. He views it as a historic opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime chance for Dubois to redefine his legacy. This fight isn't just about redemption, Warren says. It's about writing your name into British sporting history. Warren believes Dubois has the mindset and physicality to shock the world. But more importantly, he believes this fight will either erase the shadow of his past defeat or define his entire career by it. And what about the power? George Fox doesn't mince words when it comes to Dubois' knockout potential. He calls Dubois a true powerhouse with the kind of explosive hands that can change the course of any fight in an instant. But Fox is quick to issue a warning: raw power alone won't be enough. It's about timing. It's about knowing when to strike and executing a disciplined game plan, Fox says. He insists that for Dubois to become a true champion, he must control his aggression and master the fundamentals. If he can combine power with precision and discipline, the heavyweight division could be forced to reckon with a new king. As the final countdown begins, the boxing world watches and waits. The stakes couldn't be higher. For Dubois, this is more than a fight. It's a moment of truth. Can he rise to the occasion and dethrone a master? Or will Usyk once again prove he's untouchable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.